Reviews can be bought. Sales numbers can't. Every channel out there will tell you their favorite AR. But here's what nobody shows you. The actual list of what's flying off distributor shelves right now in 2026. And it does not match the hype. The guns everyone screams about online, half of them aren't even on this list. The ones that are, they sold out because real people spent real money on them, not because somebody got a free sample. So I pulled the 10 AR-15s that buyers are actually voting for with their wallets this year. From a $650 starter to a $2,700 tank, every one of them earned its spot. Let me show you why. Number 10. The Daniel Defense DDM-4V7. Think of this one as the "I never want to think about my rifle again" gun. Daniel Defense built its name supplying rail systems to special operations, and that obsession with rigidity bleeds into this rifle. You get a 16-inch cold hammer-forged barrel in chrome moly vanadium, 1-in-7 twist, chrome-lined and pressure-tested, forged 7075 T6 upper and lower. A mid-length gas system that shoots noticeably softer than most carbines, under a slim 15-inch M-lock rail. Here's my honest take. The trigger is heavy and most people swap it, but everything else is so dialed that you're paying for peace of mind, not features. If you want a rifle you can ignore for a decade and trust with your life, this is it. Expect to pay somewhere around $1,900 to $2,100. Number 9. The PSA SABER 15. This is PSA solving a problem PSA created. They got everybody into cheap ARs. Then those buyers spent hundreds upgrading the parts that mattered. The SABER fixes that by putting the good stuff in from the factory. Depending on the model, you get a forged or billet 7075 receiver, a nitride or FN cold hammer forged barrel, a mid-length gas system, and a slick, low-friction bolt carrier. But the real flex is the trigger and the Radian Raptor charging handle, parts people normally buy later. My verdict? This is the smartest dollar in the whole list. You're getting near custom feel for the price of a base gun. Most land between $750 and $1,150, which honestly shouldn't be possible. Quick question while we're here. Drop a comment. Are you a buy-it-built guy or a build-it-yourself guy? I'm curious where this audience lands. Number 8. The BCM Recce 16 MCMR. If the SABER is about value, this is about discipline. Bravo Company was started by a Marine, and the whole pitch is quality control most companies skip to save money. 16-inch government profile barrel in mil-spec 11595E steel, chrome-lined, 1-in-7 twist, forged 7075 receivers, hard-coat anodized. A Carpenter 158 bolt carrier, fully tested. Properly staked gas key with grade 8 hardware. For 2026, it comes with a PNT trigger, a gunfighter charging handle, and a 15-inch MCMR rail. There's nothing flashy here on purpose. No electronics, no gimmicks. Just parts that get checked before they ship. That's exactly why it sells. Pricing runs about $1,650 to $1,950. Number 7. The Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport 3. This is the new king of my first AR. For years, the Sport 2 owned that crown, but the fixed front sight and plastic handguard finally aged out. So Smith reworked it from scratch. Now you get a 16-inch 4140 chrome moly vanadium barrel with a corrosion-resistant armornite finish, 1-in-8 twist, and forged 7075 receivers. The biggest change is the mid-length gas system, which smooths out the recoil a ton. Up front, there's a real 15-inch free-float M-lock rail and a clean top rail for your optic. My take? For a first rifle, you genuinely don't need to upgrade anything for a long time. It just works. And it's cheap. Usually $650 to $800, with an MSRP right around $799. Number 6. The Geissele Super Duty Mod 1. Geissele made its name building the best triggers on Earth. Then they realized a perfect trigger can't fix a rifle that isn't tuned around it. So they built the whole gun. 16-inch cold hammer-forged chrome-lined barrel with a tapered profile to cut weight. forged receivers locked into a 15-inch MK16 rail with an anti-rotation design, a reliability-enhanced bolt carrier, a stress-proof Carpenter 158 Plus bolt, and a tuned gas system with a Super 42 spring and H2 buffer. And of course, that SSAE two-stage trigger. Here's the thing. Everything on this gun is balanced to work together. Nothing feels rough. You're paying so you never touch it. And a lot of people happily do. Around $2,125 to $2,375, depending on the finish. Number 5. The IWI Zion 15. This is the quiet overachiever. IWI built the Tavor and the Galil, and when they came to America, they noticed the budget market was full of underbuilt junk. So they made a basic gun with their standards, forged 7075 receivers, a 16-inch heavy-profile 4150 barrel with a nitride finish, and a flexible 1-in-8 twist that eats any load. A mid-length gas system under a 15-inch free-float rail, plus B5 furniture and a SOP mod stock with built-in storage. My honest verdict? Pound for pound, this might be the best, nobody talks about it, gun on the list. You get duty rifle bones without paying a brand premium, usually $850 to $950. So that's the under 1,000 club, the Sport 3, the SABER, and the Zion. If you had exactly $1,000, which one walks out of the shop with you? Tell me in the comments. Number 4. The Springfield St. Victor. Springfield went after the $1,000 sweet spot and aimed straight at the slightly dressed-up entry gun problem. The Victor is built like a duty rifle, not a starter. Forged 7075 receivers with a tension system to kill any wobble. A 16-inch, lightweight 4150 barrel with a melanite finish and 1-in-8 twist. An M16 bolt carrier with a tested Carpenter 158 bolt. A mid-length gas system, and a heavy buffer. For 2026, it brings a crisp, flat-faced nickel-boron trigger and BCM gunfighter furniture. This is for the person who wants a refined shooter and zero interest in tinkering. It just feels finished. Pricing lands around $1,020 to $1,200. MSRP right near $1,000. Number 3. The Aero Precision M4E1 Complete. Aero came from aerospace machining, which is why the tolerances on this thing are so tight. They started selling parts to homebuilders, then noticed people kept breaking small parts during assembly. So they fixed the design and sold it complete. The M4E1 receiver set is the star. Precision machined 7075, a threaded bolt catch pin that deletes a classic weak point, and an enlarged trigger guard up front. A 16-inch 4150 barrel with a QPQ finish and 1-in-7 twist. Inside, a proven M16 bolt carrier with a Carpenter 158 bolt. It runs Aero's Atlas handguard on a rock-solid wedge lock system. My take? This is the custom-built look and feel without you ever touching a workbench. Best of both worlds. Usually $900 to $1,100, depending on the furniture. Number 2. The LMT Mars L full-size configuration. Now we're in serious territory. LMT didn't build its name selling to civilians. They built it arming militaries, including becoming the service rifle of New Zealand's Defence Force back in 2017. The trick is the monolithic upper, machined from one solid block of 7075. The handguard and top rail are literally one piece, so your laser and optic never lose zero. The barrel is chrome moly vanadium, cryo-treated and chrome-lined, on a 2-bolt quick-change system that swaps in minutes. Inside, an enhanced bolt carrier with an altered cam path and a dual spring extractor. This is for the person who refuses to compromise on rigidity. It's overkill, and that's the point. Pricing runs about $2,300 to $2,600 based on configuration. Number 1. The LMT Mars L 16-inch. Same monolithic DNA, but this is the configuration buyers keep choosing first. One continuous block of 7075 for the upper, a 16-inch cryo-treated chrome-lined barrel, and that quick-change barrel system that lets you change calibers in minutes. But the lower is what closes the deal. Fully ambidextrous controls, mirrored on both sides. Bolt catch, bolt release, mag release, safety, all of it. Then a crisp two-stage military match trigger on top. Here's why it's number one. Whether you shoot right or left-handed, the gun feels identical. And your optic never moves no matter how hard you run it. That combination is rare, and people are paying for it. Stepping into this tier costs roughly $2,500 to $2,700. So that's the list, and notice the pattern. Not one of these won on hype. They won on the boring stuff. Tested parts, smooth gas systems, and tolerances that hold up. The market doesn't reward flash. It rewards rifles that run. Now I actually want to settle this. If you had to build your one defensive rifle this year, are you spending big on a no-excuses workhorse like the Daniel Defense or the LMT? Or are you taking the value play and grabbing a SABER or a Zion and pocketing the difference? Drop your pick below. I read these. If this saved you from a bad buy, hit subscribe, because the next one breaks down the optics that actually belong on these rifles. See you there!